Hey guys, so this is another first impressions video. This time is for Belnos, and come on. It first happened with Luna, now it happened with this hero. What happened with her leg? Like, yeah, like seriously. But maybe it's part of her story. Maybe she sacrificed her leg to summon this clown over here. You never know. The stories of these games is pretty crazy. So maybe that's what actually happened. So I'll have to read it when I get the chance. So anyhow, let's check about her skill. Deadly Trick, average speed. Deals 288% damage to all enemies, luring them into the Nightmare Realm for 5 turns. Super important here. And by the way, the Nightmare Realm is, the background that the clown pops in. That's the Nightmare Realm. It's not a debuff, it's that background there. So, if an enemy is already in the Nightmare Realm, the damage dealt by this skill is considered as extra damage. So, pretty much extra damage is going to be this, pretty much. So, this pretty much means that it's going to be raised there. So, Nightmare Realm. The target has a 50% chance to entering the sleep status for 3 turns upon using a skill. When the Nightmare Realm ends, Belnos deals 480% extra damage to all enemies. So this pretty much means that everybody is in the Nightmare Realm, your enemies, and the target has 50% chance to entering sleep. So they go off with their skill. They have a 50% of going to sleep there. So that's very important to understand there. And sleep. The target becomes unconscious and unable to gain mana from Nadia Stone. This is super important to note here. Upon receiving skill damage, the target wakes up and takes 480% extra damage. So this part here is super confusing to a lot of people, because a few people have already sent me videos and things like that showing that this hero is bugged. This is not working. It's getting mana. But you have to take into account the mana from Nadia Stones. For sure. So that pretty much means that if you're using a Belnos on the attack, this means that the stones that you throw at the enemies on defense, that is not going to give them mana. However, if the turn passes, they are going to gain mana, and from other abilities as well. So that's very important to note. And if you are fighting Belnos on defense, and your heroes become in the sleep status, which, by the way, it's undispellable, which is crazy. And you do a connection with the stones, you're not going to gain mana. So her on defense, and yeah, you going to sleep is going to be a big problem, because you're not going to gain mana from, that is pretty scary. So that's really important to note. So she's not exactly bugged, but this is super confusing. So I'm going to explain it later on with the fight I'm going to show you later. And by the way, Volo skill does not prevent the actual ability from being done. So in other words, Bolos, you can use the ability. I'm going to show you that a little later. So Awakening, +1. At the start of the battle, lures the enemy into the Nightmare Realm for 5 turns. So this is super powerful for her, because right off the bat, the fight starts. This is activated, and you activate 1 stone if you're using her on the attack. That's going to make possibly your enemies going to sleep in the 2nd or 3rd turn when they go off. Especially in war, they're going to go off in the 2nd, 1st, or so turn when they're on defense. So this is super powerful to make them go to sleep as soon as possible. Very powerful. However, this is super powerful gravy. Enhanced Nightmare Realm. The Nightmare Realm reduces the enemy's attack by 30%. So this is super powerful. If you're doing PvP and you straight out the bat you have Nightmare Realm, they go off, because there's a bunch of weapons that are gonna give mana to the hero right off the bat, so they're gonna go off when you do the first connection. So lowering the 30% attack here is super powerful in being able to survive the first turns and actually build your team to actually do what you need to do. So very, very cool stuff. And by the way, I forgot to mention that the Nightmare Realm that affects Alia, that affects Percival, which are all heroes that are immune to debuff. Because this is not a debuff. This is like a background thing that if something happens, that happens. So yeah, that is a very powerful ability versus those heroes. The +2 is increases attack, defense, and max HP by 6%, and crit by 10 and crit chance by 10%. So when you see heroes like this, definitely they're thinking that their hero is going to do a lot of damage. That is interesting to see. So, +3. Enhanced Nightmare Realm. The Nightmare Realm reduces the healing received by the enemy by 50%. So, this is a big nudge to try to counter Alia teams, because Alia is the main threat of wars all the time, pretty much at this point. So, this is going to help you kill her, because if she's only healing 50%, that's going to be very powerful. And versus other heroes like Isadora, Valerie, even Cathbad, this is a very powerful ability to countering those types of teams. Very, very cool stuff, guys. +4 is the same as the +2. And the +5. This +5 makes her... Yeah, let's just read it. Using skills increases attack for all purple allies by 43% for 3 turns. So pretty much, we're talking about lowering the attack by 30% to the enemy, and now gaining 43% attack to all your purples. So this is crippling, 100% crippling, especially if you're having attacking in war, which you already have stacks there. So this is gonna change the board for you so much. Very, very powerful stuff, guys. Enhanced Nightmare Realm. The chance of an enemy entering the sleep status when using a skill is increased by 100%, and Belnos recovers 50% Oh my god. So this pretty much means Nightmare Realm is going to be active through the entire fight. And you may ask why, because yeah. So if somebody goes to sleep, Belnos gets 50% mana. So that's me. So she's gonna go off all the time. You don't have stones, no problem. Somebody goes to sleep, she's gonna get full mana. So this is pretty crazy stuff, guys. This +5 combos with her ability so well that it's really hard to ignore, especially on defense. If you have this on defense, she's gonna go off all the time. Your heroes are gonna go to sleep all the time. Yeah, I really would love to see this on defense, because this is a very powerful ability on defense. On the attack, you could say it is powerful, but it's not like groundbreaking. But on defense, it's gonna be pretty crazy in my opinion. So let's give her a spin so I can show you what exactly I'm talking about here.
My dear girl, that's what people call hard working.
So, see, right off the bat, we have the Nightmare Realm. This is the Nightmare Realm. So we check the abilities. Nightmare Realm, undispellable. Nightmare Realm, 50%, and the 30% attack there. Really powerful stuff, guys, for sure. So let's go right off the bat and see if we can make one activate here. So since she already has 100% mana, it's not gonna, So we're gonna do it now. Let's try to make here, Deep Light activate. Here we go. See, she got the mana there in that situation. So he's right now asleep. So if you give him stones, you can see that he's not exactly gaining that much mana. When you pass the turn, he's gonna get a bunch of mana there. But see, we just passed the turn and he's not attacking, because remember that sleep can attack and can cast skills. So that's pretty much it in that situation. So let's do it again. Let's see. Let's start killing heroes. Why not? You know, waste too much time here. So, boom. There we go. We got the mana. See what I'm talking about? The Nightmare one's gonna be active the entire fight at this point. So let's see. Let's try to wake up this guy. So when the damage is done, see, yeah. So when the damage is done and he wakes up, he's gonna get the 480% damage, and also Mary's ability here. So that's all that is gonna stack. in that situation. So that is going to be really powerful. See, pretty much I have the entire board control, and they're all asleep, and I can keep on killing heroes here without any problems. Boom! Look at that. That's crazy. So let's see. Still asleep, they're not going to go off. Let me show you one more time. Let's see how they don't go off. See, they're still not going off, so they're pretty much controlled. And the fight is over pretty much at this point. So that's pretty crazy, guys. So that's the main thing. So if this is on the attack, imagine her on defense, that she's making enemies sleep and they're full of mana. Well, they're not going to be full of mana because they won't be able to gain mana from stones in this situation. So that's going to be pretty scary, guys. So now I'm going to show you a small clip of enemies on defense actually going off with Volos. Because Volos will be able to pseudo counter that ability to sleep. I'm going to show you right now. So yeah, so if you plan to use Volos on defense, I guess that's one way to counter sleep. Or even on the attack, you can try to counter because Alden will go off, but I think that when only once instead of 3 times, so it's a pseudo counter, I guess. But if you see Belnos on defense, try to kill her as soon as possible, because her abilities are gonna it's gonna cause you a lot of problems. So let's talk about her exclusive weapon. Using skills increases crit chance by 25%. For Belnos, increases critical damage by an additional 50% for 3 turns. So she's going to get from her +2 and +4, 20%. So it's going to be 45% crit chance, and she's going to get crit damage by 50%. So that's interesting. So they really plan to actually make her a damage hero. And she actually gets crit chance as well from refinement, so it's going to be 50% actually from right off the bat. So that is really interesting. So that means that the actual debuff when they wake up, does that crit? That is something we definitely need to test and see. So yeah, that is very powerful, guys. So what do I recommend for her? I definitely recommend to get her at +1 for sure. Because the ability to actually have her like this right off the bat and loin attack is very powerful, guys, for sure. The +3 is definitely very useful on if you're the kind of guy that you want to actually defeat alias on the time in arena. I mean, arena. And pretty much in general, in PvP, in wars, and things like that, this is going to be really relevant for you, because being able to make her go down that much is very powerful. However, with the sleep, it's going to be pretty useful to taking out. It could be very useful to take out Alia in the long run. So, and the +5, of course, this ability to actually make her go to sleep 100% and recover mana is pretty disgusting. And giving 40% attack to the entire purples. Imagine giving 43% attack to Idritha. That is insane, guys. 43%. That is crazy. So yeah, but I definitely think that if you really want to actually make her work for you, I definitely recommend getting the +1 for her. That's very powerful. Now, to skip or not to skip, if you can only get her at +0, you may want to skip her. You may want to skip her in this situation. However, her ability is pretty interesting. In PvE, she is going to be very useful, by the way, even at +0. So you have to take that into account for sure. Alright, thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.